In the heart of a lush green forest, where tall trees touched the clouds and flowers painted the ground in every color imaginable, lived a small bird named Pip. Pip was the tiniest bird in the entire forest. His feathers were soft brown, his beak delicate, and his wings so small that they fluttered like leaves in the wind. But what Pip lacked in size, he made up for in curiosity. There was only one thing Pip disliked about himself, his voice. It was loud, far too loud for such a small bird, and when he chirped, the sound carried far across the forest. Other birds teased him. "Your voice is too big for such a tiny bird," they would laugh. Embarrassed, Pip stopped singing altogether. One bright morning, as Pip was gathering twigs for his nest, a shadow swept over the forest. It was Hawk, the fierce predator who occasionally flew through the area looking for food. The forest animals froze in fear. Hawk landed on a high branch, scanning for prey. Pip's heart pounded. He saw a nest of baby squirrels on a low branch, directly in Hawk's view. The mother squirrel was nowhere to be seen. Pip wanted to warn them, but his small size made him feel powerless. "What can I do? I'm just a tiny bird," he thought. Then he remembered his voice. It was big, loud, and impossible to ignore. Maybe, just maybe, it could help. Taking a deep breath, Pip flew to the nearest branch and began chirping as loudly as he could. His voice rang through the forest sharp, bright, and startling. Hawk turned his head in surprise. Pip didn't stop. He chirped again, louder this time, hopping from branch to branch, so his sound echoed from every direction. The noise drew the attention of the other animals. The mother squirrel appeared, dashing to her babies and carrying them to safety. The deer lifted their heads, the rabbits froze in place, and even the wise old owl peeked from his tree hollow. Hawk grew frustrated. There was too much attention, too much noise. With a screech, he spread his wings and flew away. The forest fell silent for a moment. Then the animals began cheering. The mother squirrel hugged her babies and called out, "Thank you, Pip! You saved my children!" Pip blushed beneath his feathers. "I just made some noise," he said shyly. The wise old owl fluttered down to Pip's branch. "Sometimes, little one," the owl said in his deep, steady voice, "making noise is exactly what the world needs. Size doesn't measure courage. You used what you had for good, and that's what matters." From that day on, Pip no longer hid his voice. Instead, he used it to warn others of danger, to call for help, and even to sing in the mornings. The other birds, who once teased him, began to admire him. "Your voice is the forest's alarm clock," one robin joked. Weeks later, another danger came: a sudden forest fire sparked by a lightning strike. While the flames were still far away, Pip spotted the smoke before most of the animals noticed. Without hesitation, he soared high and let out his loudest chirps yet. The sound carried far and wide, waking sleeping animals and alerting those deep in the forest. This time, it wasn't just the squirrels he saved, it was everyone. The animals evacuated quickly, and when the fire finally died out, not a single life had been lost. That night, under a sky glittering with stars, the animals gathered around Pip. The wise owl spoke again. "We often think strength comes from size, speed, or sharp claws. But today, we know strength can also come from a small bird with a big voice." Pip sang then, not just for himself but for the whole forest. His song was loud, clear, and filled with joy. The melody carried far into the night, a reminder that even the smallest creatures can make the biggest difference when they use their gifts for good. And so, Pip the little bird became known as the voice of the forest, not because he was the loudest, but because he used his voice to protect, help, and inspire others.